What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome to Leafs Digest. Now, here we are breaking down Game 5 of the season. The Leafs fall 5-3 to the San Jose Sharks. We go to 2-2-1 on the season. We're at 5 points overall in the standings. Watching this team is just so confusing on a night-to-night basis. Some nights they look incredible and they put up an insane amount of shots, and you come away from it losing in overtime to the Rangers where Shesterkin just absolutely shuts us down, or losing to the Sens in that fashion where you say, yeah, that was a terrible first period, but we put up like 58 shots and Forsberg has to make 56 saves and he plays incredible. And then you're like, wow, okay, this team's pretty good and we've got something. And then you watch a game like tonight and you want to just pull your hair out from start to finish of the game. Let's start right away. So 5-3, we lose the game to the Sharks here tonight. They grab another one, Logan Couture on an empty netter to cap this one off. It's really essentially a 4-3 game. They grab that one near the end. But Leafs goals from Jason Spezza, Andre Kase, and John Tavares. Tavares kind of just a fluky goal, but still, they don't ask how. They just ask how many. So there he goes, gets his first one of the season. Good for him. Get on the board, regardless of how it goes in the net. It's good to see your name have a goal beside it in the stat sheet, in the standings, in the league leaders. He can feel pretty confident about that one going forward. He's got his name on the board for a goal. Nobody's going to look back and say, oh yeah, but it was a crappy one. You barely scored it. It's a goal. He got a goal. John Tavares has a goal this year. So there you go. That was his goal. But the first thing, you want to talk about starting on time. At some point here, like, starting on time just doesn't even begin to address the issue at hand here. We're 5 games into this season. Okay, I get it. Pump the brakes a little bit. Let's not go into panic mode. But 4 out of 5 games this season, we've started trailing the game. 4 out of 5 games this season, we've had to come from behind to try to win a game or grab 1 point. 5 games played. 4 times. 4 times. 5 games played. 4 times. We've had to come from trailing a game to start the game to try to win a game. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You're playing at home tonight. You've had these terrible starts. You've got your terrible, well-known terrible third goaltender in net. You're playing a San Jose team who's coming off a back-to-back against Ottawa. They've been traveling through Canada. They've just battled against the Sens in a comeback win. They were on the ice less than 20 hours ago. They're coming to play you guys on an early game in which you guys have requested, and the NHL granted permission for you to start the game early so you could fly out on your road trip. I don't fault the Leafs there. If you're going to get mad for this game starting early, I don't fault the Leafs. The league approved it. Blame the league. If you're coming in here as a fan from another team saying, why the hell did it start at 6? I don't know. Ask the league. Blame the NHL for that one. Regardless, as a Leafs team, you push this game up. You get a team in here off of a back-to-back, and you let them jump out on the lead early. Where is the urgency? Where is the urgency? Where is the need and the want, the desire to win, to come out on time, to start the game ready to play? I know that the goal didn't evolve until later on. But still, you start that game down a goal. It's embarrassing, and this is the 4th time that it's happened this year. Out of 5 games played, it's not even just like, oh, we've seen this a few times. We've only not seen this 1 time. 1 time this year, we've not seen this happen. That's not acceptable. We got to figure that out. That's a tough way to start the game. Now, Jason Spezza's line gets scored on. Way she goes. 4th line gets out there. They get caught in a situation. Goal against them. It's kind of a bad one, honestly. Hutchison's slow cross Goal goes in. Way she goes for that line. Can't necessarily blame them. There's some things. Obviously, you're going to look at the tape and say, here, fix this, fix that, whatever. You move on. Sheldon Keefe with the bold decision to leave them out there following that goal and give them an opportunity to redeem themselves. Respect the move. You don't see that out of coaches a lot, especially when it's a fourth line that gets out there. They give up the first goal of the game at home after all the conditions that I just mentioned. But he has the faith in that line. They bust their balls every single time they're on the ice. That line, like, you can never, ever, ever question them for hustle, for their effort, for how much they care. I will never sit here and say, Jason Spezza and Wayne Simmons didn't give it their all tonight. Jason Spezza and Wayne Simmons might not play the best game each and every night, and I won't sit here and say that it's not true that they're. I won't sit here and say that they're perfect every night. They're not. I get it, but they give you 110% effort every night. They will never cheat you on effort. So for Sheldon Keefe to have the confidence in them to go back out there right after that goal is scored, I fully appreciate it. I respect it. And you know what they do? They go out there and they reward him, and they reward the team for giving them that opportunity. They go out there and they bang home a goal. They bring the intensity right away off that faceoff. They're pressuring all over San Jose. And they go out and they get a goal. You respond right away. Bang. 1-1 game. Well, what else happens other than our first line follows up after this incredible pressure shift? Austin Matthews and the boys get out there. About 17 seconds later, Michael Hutchison gives up and just a crap goal. Crap goal. This guy is so bad. So bad. I get the whole emergency recall situation, and Hutchison's the easiest guy to move up and down. He fits in the salary cap. Can we not find a better option here? Like, my goodness, we've seen this guy in net for this team. What is this? The third year that we've seen this guy? Every time he goes in there, the entire question from every single person. Have you ever in your life heard a person in the Toronto media, one of your friends, another fan, your family members, the coaching staff, the GM, I don't care who it is, have you ever heard them say, yeah, Hutch is going in net, we got a real chance tonight? This guy sucks. This guy sucks. This is the guy you listen to a Toronto radio show and they say, man, should we put Hutch in net in the game that it's a 50-50 because you don't want to waste it on the starting goalie? Because they're just like, we might as well put the starting goalie in Campbell and play him on a game that we think we're going to win. Because if Hutch goes in there, we might lose it instead. So now you put the starting goalie in a tough game against a good team. Maybe he loses that one. And you put Hutch in against a terrible team, and you probably lose that one anyways because he sucks. He's so bad. Terrible. You can't battle back, tie the game up like that, and then just let in a garbage goal like that. It's pathetic. Find a new guy. Find a new guy. Give one of these kids in the Marlies a chance. Give D'Agostino, who played at Canadian University a couple years ago, a chance. That guy deserves it over this crappy southpaw. What is he? Other than terrible. Terrible. There's no words to describe it. This guy goes in the net, and every single person in Toronto starts shaking in their boots because we've put him in the net. It's just a lost 2 points every time he goes in there. The team plays terrible in front of him. You can't sit here and say, like, oh, yeah, it's just his fault. I get it. The team didn't play well in front of him. But it's fully it is a vicious cycle of he's bad, so the team plays bad in front of him. The team plays bad, which makes him worse, which makes the team play worse. Now we're just going back and forth of just garbage. This guy sucks, man. Sucks. So bad. What else do you say about him? But anyways, Matthews' line goes out there. Goal against. Great. We've just fought to tie the game up. Now we're down 2-1 20 seconds later. Wonderful. You're our first line following up the fourth line who just got an opportunity to tie the game back up. Whatever. Down 2-1 now. Now we got to fight back. And honestly, let's throw it into a little bit of a happier mood here because I've just been absolutely down and out on this one. Just, man, sitting here, I'm like, we got 77 games left. 77 games left, and I'm sitting here screaming at you guys about how terrible this team is. 77 games left. Let's get to our power play of the day. All right, my biggest bright spot of tonight's game. Let's get into a little bit more of a positive mood here before I jump back into slamming some stuff here. Andre Kase, that's got to be my power play of the day. This guy blocks the shot with inside the blue line, hustles down the ice, shows absolutely relentless hustling down after this puck, breaks away, and you see in the past guys like Ilya Mikheyev, they grab that breakaway. Even when Grabner was here, they get that block shot, grab a breakaway. Zach Hyman, they don't necessarily have the skill to finish on a lot of these. Andre Kase, he's not the guy who's going to score 100% of the time on breakaways. Nobody is. But he's more likely to score on those breakaways than the previous guys that I just mentioned because his skill level and his offensive ability is much higher. And I love seeing that from a guy. It's not the prettiest play in the world. Now, mind you, his breakaway move was pretty nice. And Aiden Hill, my goodness, did this guy bite. His jockstrap was up in Kyle Dubas's press box with him. But great play from defense to offense, and that's exactly what we're going to see from that line all year long. Kampf, Kase, Kerfoot, if he remains on that line, those three guys, I like that line a lot. I have no complaints about them. They battle their bags off in the defensive zone, give up minimal opportunities. They're winning defensive faceoffs all over every period, every shift they get out there and they get that chance, winning draws, making good plays, making smart plays, not giving up lethal opportunities, getting pucks out. They just keep it simple. And when you play well defensively, the offense will come. It will be rewarded to you because, the hockey gods, they will gift you back for those kinds of situations. You see it tonight with Andre Kase goal. Nice block shot, gets in the lane. He's in the right position, right time, hustles down there. Nice breakaway move. Beautiful. Great play by him. That is my power play of the day. I loved what I saw from him and that line tonight. I think they looked really good all year. I have no complaints. My only concern, which honestly, this is going to bring me right back to this first line and the rest of this just absolute shenanigans going on with this team right now. My only concern really with them would be if they can stay intact as a line, because I would be right now sitting here, this coaching staff, they're going to get on this plane tonight and just be putting lines in a blender, writing through who could possibly be possible combinations. And my first pick personally would be to throw Kerfoot up on that first line, because we saw a situation tonight where Nick Ritchie gets benched with 8:05 left in the second period. Pierre Engvall is going up there on that first line. And I think the reason he goes up there really is kind of what I just mentioned in terms of the Kerfoot, Kase, Kampf line playing well together. They don't want to split them up. Bunting, Nylander, Tavares, you kind of like to keep them together. So if they're going, leave them. You're not going to move Bunting up. Now you can see they don't want to move Kerfoot up. So you're stuck with moving Pierre Engvall up, which do you really want Pierre Engvall playing with Matthews and Marner on a regular basis? I'd assume probably not. I don't want him there. But it's kind of what we ended up seeing tonight, because you end up with a situation where Nick Ritchie's just out to lunch. And now here I am stuck with this. We talk about the vicious cycle of the team and Hutchison going back and forth, playing terribly in front of each other. You almost got a situation here where even you look back to the playoffs, and it's one thing I mentioned last year. Yes, Matthews did not produce. But I don't think many people came away from that series saying Matthews was bad. I don't think many people came away saying Matthews played bad. He played poorly. He was a detriment to the team. Who was the guy that they said that about? Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner was the guy rolling out there every shift that you were like, oh, this guy's not playing well. This guy is creating chances for the other team. This guy is turning pucks over. He's losing battles. He's taking bad penalties, flipping the puck over the glass. He looks dejected. He looks upset. He looks bad in his interviews. He looks terrible when he's skating to the bench. He has bad body language. And then the rest of that line couldn't perform because he was playing so poorly. Zach Hyman's not the guy to just carry a line. It's not going to happen. Matthews can carry a line, but if you have one guy who is not just not playing good, but playing terribly, it's hard to counter that, first of all. And then you got Zach Hyman on the other side coming off injury, so all respects to him. He's a great, we loved him here in Toronto, but coming off injury, not 100%. You got to kind of pick him up a little bit, and now you got the other guy just dogging it. Now you're trying to carry both guys. So now you look at a situation where Marner doing the exact same thing. Exact same thing. He looks like the exact same, if not worse, player than what we saw in the playoffs last year. Like, seriously, he might be worse than what we saw in the playoffs last year. He looks, let's use the same words. Let's use the same rotation of words here. Dejected. He looks lost. He looks sad. He looks soft. He looks weak. He looks mentally out of it. Like, he is not playing well right now. You got Matthews just coming off of a wrist injury, just coming back from surgery. He looks like he's good to go. I don't think there's anything holding him back from that injury. I'm not going to sit here and say the wrist injury is holding him back. More so in terms of chemistry and just the flow of things. Like, he hasn't played in as many NHL games as these guys this year. He missed the first 3. He missed all of preseason, and he's not touching pucks as much in training camp. So chemistry a little bit off, trying to get that back in there. But Marner's been playing this bad the whole time. There's no excuse there. Matthews looked incredible in game 1. 8 shots on goal, 16 shots attempt. Now he looks pretty decent tonight. I wouldn't necessarily say he played the best game. Like, he didn't look great. But again, he didn't look bad. Like, he didn't look bad. He was kind of just a player on the ice. And there was a few chances where we saw, oh my God, Austin Matthews looks lethal right now. He did. There was times where he did. And it looked great. But it was, from Matthews, is more of an average game. When you move along to Nick Ritchie here, this is where I get to that vicious cycle of things of Marner is playing so terribly. Matthews is just trying to get back into the rhythm of things, and him and Nick Ritchie have no chemistry together. This is the second time they've played together. It's going to be a little difficult for Nick Ritchie to get into it here. He's new to the team. He's new to this line. He's brand new to Austin Matthews. Brand new. He's just figuring out Austin Matthews. Watch him on highlights, I'm sure, but play alongside of him, brand new. Brand new. He's just figuring that out. So it's hard for him to get into it there. And then on top of that, he's also starting slow. Just a bad combination. So now he's starting slow. He's getting used to it. Marner can't play because he's got no chemistry with these guys. He's already playing bad. He's got low confidence. Like, this is just a gong show of a first line right now. You're looking at that second line going, thank God we got William Nylander at 6.9. This is the best value contract this team has. Other than maybe Jack Campbell in net right now. Didn't even play tonight, and he's the best goalie we've got. It's at the point of just someone needs to sit down with these guys, because I seriously don't think this is we need to acquire someone else to come in here to fix this right now. I don't. I think this is a internal, mental, get it through your skull, wake up, start performing situation. This isn't we need to go and get person A, person B to come in here and they'll make this team better. This is you need to make yourself better to make this team better. Mitch Marner, you need to be, I don't even know what, like, you need to be stronger on pucks. You need to win battles. You need to play a simpler brand of hockey right now. You don't need to change your game forever or even for an extended period. But right now, you need to do the little things. You need to do simple things. You need to not do spinorama, no-look, backhand passes at the blue line, dropping it, while you're already crossed the line and the guy you're passing to is 3 feet behind it. That's just dumb. It's dumb. So we need to just have these little simple fixes in terms of mental mistakes. Because this team is incredibly skilled. This is one of the best defensive teams I think we've put together. Dubas has put together the entire time he's been here. The entire time Austin Matthews, Nylander, Mitch Marner, those guys have been here. This is probably the most solidified depth, other than probably at the goaltending position, since we've seen this team. Those guys have been here. Our defense 1 through 6, yeah, there's some guys who have some shaky nights here and there. Which team doesn't? Which team doesn't? We're not exempt from that. We can't go 82 games and have 6 guys roll and play 100% perfect every night. It's not realistic. You go to our forwards, and we've got good forward depth. We've got guys who are versatile. We have different styles of play. We have veterans. We have young guys. We have goal scorers, playmakers, guys who hit, guys who fight, guys who kill penalties. We've got it. This team has got it. The problem isn't talent or the players that we need, the types of players we need. The problem is the mentality of the players we have here right now. They need to figure it out in order for this team to have any chance at success. That is what is going to be the key to getting this team over the hump at this point. Now, ranted about this team, ranted about this game. It was a very, very frustrating one. There's no way around that. There was a very, very frustrating one. I don't want to sit here and overreact and say, maybe we won't make the playoffs. But I mean, let's be very honest with ourselves. We're back playing against all the rest of the NHL right now. We're back in a division with the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Boston Bruins. There are good teams in this division. There are lots of good teams in this division. There are teams like the Ottawa Senators who are going to be competitive every single night, every game that they play in. They're going to compete for a playoff spot. Believe it or not, they are. They might not make it. I'm not going to sit here and say they are going to make it, but they're going to compete. They are truly going to compete on a nightly basis to grab a spot. We need, as a team, to turn this around and figure it out now. We saw an opportunity where we scored a bunch of goals tonight. We got 3. Kind of figured out how to get past that little blockade of, we're taking a bunch of shots, but we can't score goals. Okay, we figured that out. Let's just figure out the mental mistakes. Because otherwise we're going to see ourselves in a position where we're on the outside looking in come playoff time. And if we get to that point, you will see Josh and I absolutely losing it on here. This was a dejected, down mood podcast episode, whatever you want to call this. This was a down bad video. I get it. I'm sorry for the negative energy, but that's just how I was feeling after this game. This is a natural emotional reaction after this one, and I think it was warranted. It's a little bit frustrating watching these guys on a nightly basis go out there and do that, especially when it's your top line, especially when it's the most paid guys on this team. It's frustrating. Especially when it's a guy like Mitch Marner who made such a fuss in the media over his contract situation and who played so poorly in the playoffs last year. Now, Leafs fans, let's hope this isn't how it is for the next 77 games of this season. Let's hope we can turn it around tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. Let's figure this one out. Let's get Austin Matthews a goal on the board because 2 games in, he's got no points, no goals, nothing from him. We want to see Austin Matthews score goals. John Tavares scoring tonight feels really good. William Nylander grabs himself some more points. I don't know, the defense looked pretty decent. They didn't look terrible. They didn't look great. They were just meh. They were okay. They were okay, just okay. San Jose is playing really well right now, and they've got some goaltending behind them, so shout out to them. Big win for them, 5-3. They win against all 4 Canadian teams that they come through Canada. Congrats to the San Jose Sharks. But Leafs fans, before we end off on this one, just want to remind you guys we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers here on the Leafs Digest channel. Every subscriber that you guys, we get from you guys, it means the world to us. It counts. It is so appreciated, every single subscriber. So thank you guys for that. But Leafs fans, before I head out on this one, I just want to remind you guys, comment on this video. And if you are just as upset about Mitch Marner as I am, Josh and I broke down Mitch Marner a whole lot more in the last video that we did talking about Mitch Marner, what's wrong with him, what's going on with this team. I didn't get too into it tonight. I touched on it a little bit. It was a frustrating topic, but all that information can be found in the last video that we did, so go check that one out. Leafs fans, I am dejected right now. I understand. I imagine you guys are. I imagine you guys are frustrated watching this one as well. If you are from another team and you're coming here to troll, feel free. You have every single right to. Tee off in the comments. But Leafs fans, let us know what is wrong with this team. What needs to be fixed moving forward? Are you as dejected as I am? Are you more hopeful? Do you think that this team, we're going to turn this around? We're going to figure this out? Are we going to just slump away and let these bad games keep piling up? Let us know in the comments below, since we will see you tomorrow night against the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh, our first game back in the States since before COVID. We will see you guys after the game, October 23rd at 7 p.m. in Pittsburgh against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Leafs fans, keep believing.